Rieko, good job on this blog. Right now, me and some of my friends are thinking about how we can work with NGOs to improve life in Southeast Asia. To be honest, I learned a lot from reading this blog and reading the drafts you wrote before it. So personally, I'm grateful to you for writing this. Your blog is a little bit longer than other students' blogs, which I think is great. I'm happy you challenged yourself. I have 5 pieces of feedback for you. The first piece of feedback is related to your introduction. In this introduction, you talk about how making donations make the world better. This is something that most people will agree with. The idea that helping other people will improve the world is something most of us will accept. However, your challenge as a writer is to help make people's unconscious thoughts clear to them. Therefore, you need to explain why donations make the world better in this introduction. You should not assume that the audience meaning and your meaning are the same. I would like to see a little bit more expansion of this point here. You say, because donations make the world better, but be sure to tell us why they make the world better. The next piece of feedback is here in your second step. Again, you're talking about listening to the voice or listening to the feeling in your heart. You want to be very clear about this, and what I mean by that is not just the voice in your heart, but specifically, what is the voice in your heart that makes you want to donate? So for example, if I listen to my heart, it may tell me things about many different problems in my life. My heart can tell me about my relationships, it can tell me about my goals, it can tell me about my future, and each of these things has a different feeling. In this sentence you say, it comes suddenly and unexpectedly. I believe that it means the feeling from listening to the voice in your heart. However, you do not talk about specifically what that feeling is. I would like to hear more about the feeling that tells you when it's right to donate. In this same paragraph, down here, you talk about how when you met the woman from Cambodia, this began the feeling, but you did not actually want to donate until 12 years later. Once you define the feeling here, then you should add a sentence or two to this paragraph explaining that this feeling began with this Cambodian woman, but it did not cause you to donate until 12 years later. Right now, the connection between when you met the Cambodian woman and then when you met the director from the NPO is maybe a little weak or a little unclear. I think it would be better to define this feeling and then show how that feeling grew from meeting the Cambodian woman to meeting the director of the NPO. The next piece of feedback is here, and I just want to tell you that this example here, where the first and the second step came together, and also where you talk about how you had some failure in donating to NGOs. This is a wonderful example, and this particular section, this second step, is a very, very strong section, and I think you should be very proud of it. The last piece of feedback is for step 4. I just want you to think about how, so I've done a little research about NGOs, so I understand that what you mean here when you say even good organizations change over time and that they want to get more donations to survive, I understand that that means that as an NGO grows, their goals or their priorities change so that they can get more money. And that when this happens, it may not be a good idea to keep donating. But if your audience does not know about NGOs, saying this section, even good organizations, supposed to be they may change their aim or even mission because of financial problems, to get more donations to survive, they will change easily. I think maybe many people will not understand this. So potentially, you need to explain this problem a little bit more. Explain specifically why and how an NGO will change. So that's all I have. You've done an excellent job. I hope you will continue to write. I look forward to your next blog.